has to know that geographically, this is a very, very unique area. And if you're talking about West Nile, we're talking about mosquitoes. Special attention has to be paid to this peninsula if you are serious about this. Okay? For decades, we have had problems with floodings. Even if it rains, we have pools of still water all up and down this beach, especially on the east end. How can the Department of Health, your department, the mayor's office, and anybody else be concerned or say they're concerned about West Nile and this population when special attention and special monies are not directed here because of the geographical? We're right here by the bay. We have all these pockets of water that flood from the sewers or whatever. And this is going on for decades. Okay, we got kids out here that are getting bit by mosquitoes, okay, and we're giving these things names. If anything happens out here, West Nile, or something new happens in one area out here, you are going to have a chain reaction very, very quickly. You're going to have a Katrina-like condition out here because of diseases, because the small pockets of water are everywhere, okay? And they're coming across from the airport to feed over here, wherever they're coming from. And you're going to have an epidemic that could wipe out half of this peninsula. I'm sorry, okay? And we don't need for our kids out here to start dying before you decide, oh, okay, there's a problem, let's go address it. An ounce of prevention is what I'm saying, and that's if you, this mayor's office, the Department of Health, are serious about human beings. Okay, we have a problem on this peninsula, and something more than that has to be done. You got to stop it before it happens. And do you guys even have a plan where if West Nile, this virus does hit out here, okay, how are we going to handle it? Is there a plan in place for this? Help me out here.
Okay, so you talk the epidemic you're talking about is West Nile.
Anytime. A new one can spread out. A new one can spread out. If the mosquitoes are allowed to go, hey, they don't have West Nile, so we're not going to spread. What are going to spread? When we discover a new one, because at one time there was no West Nile. Excuse me for mispronouncing. But at one time there was no West Nile.
There was no West Nile.
And when it happened, we had tragedy, right?
Yeah.
On this peninsula here, any type of tragedy like that, it's going to be fatal to this.
So you're worried about sort of different kinds of vector-borne diseases being a problem in the Rockaways?
Yes, I am. And to me, just the mosquitoes themselves have been worrying on diseases with this small place and all these pockets of water, this bay, just for our kids to live.
All right, so let me answer your first part first about the resources. So, and I'll say it again. In terms of, yes, it's true we're not doing adult deciding, which we might do, right? We might do adult deciding, but we are doing a lot of larviciding, and the aerial larviciding that we do is, happens here and only a couple of other places in the city, here and in western Staten Island. So there is, and we don't do mosquito magnets anywhere else. And the councilman put in $50,000 extra last year. So I would argue there are extra resources being directed here. Your point about the risk of diseases other than West Nile. I mean, and let me just say in terms of West Nile and having a big outbreak of West Nile. We're seeing more West Nile pools. We're seeing more West Nile mosquitoes than we saw last year now, right? And the strategy that we have, which is available, by the way, on our website. If you go on there, you'll see the plan for calendar year 2010, which kind of details all these different things. But what we've seen over time, I just want to point out with West Nile in particular, is a decline of cases in New York. So we're seeing more cases this year. We might have more cases than last year, but I'm hopeful. I don't know what's going to happen, right? But I'm hopeful that we're not going to see a huge escalation of cases. Human cases. you know, our strategy is to use the mosquitoes themselves and test them before we see human cases. So it is kind of a preemptive strategy. The larviciding is done automatically, right? We do that without looking for positive mosquitoes. So that's a preventive strategy. And I think you're right. I mean, I think we do have to worry about other types of diseases. We haven't seen any, but I think it's important to, you know, one of the most important things that we do is we do a lot of testing of mosquitoes across the city and looking for those